Hi, good evening. Welcome to Sports Today. You are live with me, Rajashri Gupta, and of course, Boria Mujumdar is going to join us soon as well. This is RCB versus Sunrisers Hyderabad in match 52 of the 2021 Indian Premier League. Well, not a lot at stake in this game tonight. Sunrisers Hyderabad are already out. They're eliminated from the playoffs race. RCB have made it into the playoffs, but why is this game important for the Royal Challengers Bangalore? They want to win this game against Sunrisers Hyderabad and their last game against Delhi Capitals and hope RCB would hope for Chennai Super Kings to lose their final game to Punjab Kings so that RCB can cement a place in the top two, which Delhi Capitals have. So you obviously get two shots at the final if you finish in the top two. And if they finish out of the top two, you never know what can happen on a good day for some other team. Royal Challengers Bangalore might just miss out. So they'd want to fix those spots. Of course, so for Sunrisers Hyderabad, they'd want to play for pride. They've had a torrid year. They've been eliminated. They've seen this season where David Warner was first axed as captain, then he was removed from the playing 11, and for the last few games he didn't even play. He wasn't allowed to come to the ground. We finally saw him at the ground, waving a Sunrisers Hyderabad flag, but he was sitting in the gallery. He's not in the team dugout with the rest of the squad. So that's been an enigma of this IPL. What happened around David Warner? That's the story we're waiting to hear. Figure out what really happened. But Manish, this is, like I said, pride at stake for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Look at the things that have gone wrong. For the past several seasons, Sunrisers Hyderabad have banked heavily on runs from David Warner, Kane Williamson, some explosive knocks here and there from Saha, somebody from the middle order, Jason Holder turning up sometimes, Rashid Khan always there with the ball. The death bowling has been so critical, but at the start of the UAE leg, you missed out on T. Natarajan out with COVID. He's probably going to be back soon, maybe play that one last game for Sunrisers Hyderabad. We don't know what the status is. But apart, what in if you had to put it into context, obviously it's all good and well to say that they're going to play for pride, but what really has gone wrong? The 10th bowling has not stood up. Bhuvneshwar Kumar's form has been cause for concern. Riddhiman Saha hasn't done what he's used to doing. Obviously, David Warner's form has been a reflection of the entire Sunrisers Hyderabad unit. But do you think the way he was treated has further demoralized the team, and maybe they wouldn't have been as bad a position had he been captain? Maybe he would have turned it around somehow, and with the players rallying behind him.
Well, definitely. This season has only proven to be one of the biggest nightmares that we as Sunrisers Hyderabad fans could have had. And all the problems that we deep down were scared that at some point in time might happen with our team came to the fore this time around. And what happened with David Warner, the entire David Warner saga, with him getting removed as captain and with him not making it to the playing 11 also, I think that really demoralized our setup or our team dressing room environment rather, and that clearly reflected in the way we performed. Even after he was dropped, we didn't manage to bag any firm sort of victory in our bag. We only managed to win one solitary game against the Rajasthan Royals. So a lot has gone wrong. It has also gone on to show that we have been so heavily reliant on two factors. One is, of course, our bowling performances. Uh, SRH has always been known to be a team which is, excellent when it comes to their bowling department, with the likes of Rashid Khan and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, especially. When I take Bhuvneshwar Kumar's name, he has been that one guy who has been starring for us and keeping that bowling lineup of the Sunrisers Hyderabad concrete all these years. But this time around, when he hasn't proven to be in the best of form, in fact, he's looked absolutely off color. It meant that our bowling lineup looked even more degraded. And Siddharth Kaul, Khalil Ahmed, these are great domestic names, but they haven't taken inspiration. They haven't risen to the occasion like some other names, for example, Karthik Tyagi or a certain Arshdeep Singh have done. So I think that has hindered our team balance a lot. We have made lots of changes. We had a 26-man squad. We ended up using 24 of those players. Only Shrivats Goswami and I suppose there's another part-time bowler that I can't recall his name. Those are the only two players who have missed out. So that goes to
Nabi,
show
what
that
about
we've
Nabi? Did he play? He didn't play in the second leg at all?
he did get a game in the first leg against
Yeah,
the Rajasthan Royals, but he was smashed all around the park by that
he didn't get
by
a
that
game in the
Jaws.
second leg. at all. I mean, in the UAE where the pitches have turned out to be sluggish, he's not got a game. But Manish, this is
Not at all.
I understand your emotions, but currently they are on 4 points, only two victories from 12 matches. They have two more to go against Royal Challengers Bangalore tonight and against Mumbai Indians on the 8th. So there are two games to go, and both these games hold critical importance for the opposition. RCB, for instance, like I said at the head of the show, they want to finish in the top two. Mumbai Indians, it's a must-win victory for them. Depending on what happens in that game between beg your pardon, KKR and RR, that net run rate will also come into play. Those 2 points will be crucial. They can spoil the party. They can spoil the party for RCB in the sense that they don't let them go to the top two, and also they have now the opportunity to eliminate the most successful IPL team in history. So there is still a lot to play for. And at the end of the season, 8 points are going to look a lot better than 4 points. And also to put this into perspective, look at what happened to the Chennai Super Kings last season. Didn't do too much. Maybe they won their last 2 or 3 games. So if SRH can finish with those two victories, obviously there will be structural changes to the score of the squad. It will hold them in good stead. Some of the core players who might stay back, they might take some inspiration from it. Otherwise, it's going to be very dreary heading into that 10-team competition next year.
Well, definitely, it is going to play on the minds of our players and also the management that the two opponents that we are now going to face, the Royal Challengers Bangalore and the Mumbai Indians, are going to be under extreme pressure to win and make an impact in that playoff race. But also at the same time, there is a lot that needs to be done when it comes to the Sunrisers Hyderabad setup. I think we are still going to make a few changes here and there before we can sort of head into the next season with a clear strategy in the major auction, the mega auction that is going to come up. So I only hope that we seize the opportunity. We have found a young prodigy in the form of Umran Malik, who proved to be brilliant in the previous game. Raw pace is something that is heavily in demand currently in the Indian domestic setup as well. So I was really happy with him getting a debut, and hopefully the other players who didn't get a chance get a game as well. And the biggest positive vibe that we have got before today's game is the fact that David Warner has posted on his socials that he's very much looking forward to today's game. So that might only be an indication that he's making it back to the playing 11, which I really hope he does, because that is what the fans of the Sunrisers Hyderabad have demanded. So hopefully we make these few changes and end the season on a positive note and move forward with a clear strategy, given that the major auction is going to come up next season.
Well, whether Warner makes a comeback to the playing 11, I don't know. But that's going to be something that we want to wait and watch and figure out. Like I keep saying, this is the enigma. This is the biggest enigma of the season of the IPL. What is Warner doing outside the playing 11? Sanjay, welcome to the show. Welcome to Sports Today. This is your debut on Sports Today for the IPL. Royal Challengers Bangalore, unlike Sunrisers Hyderabad, they have made it to the
Yes,
playoffs.
yes.
They are now looking to finish in the top two. But I'll ask a question from an audience at the start before I get into bigger chat with you. So somebody had this question, Ram Kamble. Is RCB wasting AB de Villiers? First off, because AB de Villiers hasn't been himself in the second leg of the UAE. What are you expecting to see out of him?
Yeah, there's been some ups and downs in ABD's batting this year. We have not seen the as usual ABD we saw in 2020. He's not going for big shots. He's not performing in big innings. In the first leg, he performed. He got us some match-winning knocks against SRH, KKR, everything. So in the second leg, he seems a bit low when you compare to first leg. I think we RCB being RCB, I'm not sad about what ABD is performing is because he's been our match winner for many years as of now. So we have new batsmen in the form of KS Bharat Maxwell, who is taking off the pressure from ABD. But yeah, deep down inside, where we have some thoughts that we want to see that vintage ABD come back. So I thought he might get a chance to prove against Rajasthan. So he got a last ball finish. So I think today might be ABD's day. Hoping Maxwell performed good in first leg against SRH. So I think ABD might turn out to be a star today.
And also, the fact is that the batting lineup for RCB, okay, that they finally found the right combination. Glenn Maxwell is playing up to his potential. The last couple of seasons, especially in the IPL, especially last year, was a complete nightmare for him. He's turned it up this year and won a few Man of the Match awards, successive half centuries. But now, how do you see that batting lineup? Kona Bharat was demoted the other day at number 7. Of course, that was probably a tactical reason, pulling up Dan Christian up the order. But would you want to see a more consistent top 4 or 5 now heading into the business end of the tournament? Just a couple more league games to go, playoffs to come. Would you rather see Kohli, Particle, Kona Bharat, Glenn Maxwell at number 4, AB de Villiers at number 5. Is that the kind of batting lineup that will give you some sense of assurance? Dan Christian or Tim David, whoever comes in and plays at number 6. Is that a more assured batting lineup for you? Did you hear me, Sanjay? Am I audible to you, Sanjay? No, I don't think Sanjay can hear us. Sanjay, if you can please
Yeah, I
log out.
think as of now we have our batting sorted. Like,
Yeah,
yes, I at the starting of the second leg, I was also pretty sad. Like Kona's, but yes, yes, yes,
yeah, go on.
I can hear you.
Yeah, go on. Go on. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, go on, Sanjay. Go on. Okay, there was some technical problem there with Sanjay. But Manish, as an RCB we're facing the Royal Challengers Bangalore as an opposition, what sort of batting lineup do you think will cause concern, and who is there to stop that particle flow, that Kona Bharat, Glenn Maxwell? Can Rashid Khan be used there in patches? AB de Villiers, by the way, has had some genuine problems against good quality leg spinner. AB de Villiers hasn't been in the best form. Glenn Maxwell has also struggled against wrist arm spin. Virat Kohli is known to struggle against wrist arm spin. So, do you see Rashid Khan there as a trump card to upset the apple cart as far as RCB is concerned?
Well, definitely the top two of the Royal Challengers with Bangalore have been in great form this season, and I would love to see Kane Williamson adapt an attacking approach against the RCB top order and bring in Rashid Khan in the power play as well, because if he can pick a wicket or two in that period of the first 6 overs, I think that is going to open the game moving forward in the middle overs. And also, what I would love to see is the wicket keeper coming up when Bhuvneshwar Kumar or someone like Sandeep Sharma is bowling, because we have all seen that Virat Kohli and especially Devdutt Padikkal, they love to come down the track and express themselves early in the power play. So that is one thing that I would love to see, the wicket keeper coming up and making sure that we keep it tight in the first six by bowling great lines and not giving too many.
Right. No, but we're trying to get Sanjay back to get an RCB perspective as well. But meanwhile, we'll just get in a couple of questions. Some questions lined up for you, Manish. Rahul Reddy is asking: has SRH missed a trick by not allowing a youngster to open the batting for them in the second leg, considering Besto was not available?
Well, yes, I did think that we could have promoted someone like an Abhishek Sharma or, in fact, Priyam Garg to open the innings for us, because Abhishek Sharma, we know in the domestic format, he opens the innings for Punjab. He's proven to be an explosive candidate as an opener. So I thought he could have done a great job alongside Vridhiman Saha or Jason Roy for that matter. But of course, with Vridhiman Saha being the wicket keeper in our team, we couldn't have played him any further down the order, because he is also someone who loves to express himself in the power play overs and loves to keep going from the word go in the first six when the field restrictions are imposed. So that's about it. And hopefully, I would love to see a few changes in our batting order today. I would love to see someone like Priyam Garg come up the order, play at number 3, Williamson to maybe come in at 4 or 5, so that he can stabilize the innings in the middle, because that is one part of the innings where we have lost wickets quite irresponsibly
Yeah.
to some really bad shots. So I would love to see Williamson come in at 4 and Priyam Garg to sort of come in and take his time and build an innings moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I could also not understand what was this thing around Abhishek Sharma. A lot of these guys, in fact, Priyamkar, Abdul Samad, a lot of people wondered whether he was batting too low down. Jason Holder, could he have done anything further up the order? But Sanjay, we'll try and see whether you can hear us from here on. Emotional moments for Virat Kohli. We've spoken about that with other RCB fans. Announced his decision to step down as captain at the start of the second leg. He won't be RCB captain hereafter. Slightly emotional as an RCB fan as well. Want to see how he goes, because you finish in the top two, and your chances of making the final are obviously 50% better than finishing in the top 3 or 4. So you'd want to. This is quite an emotional. You're at an emotional stage with Virat Kohli in a Royal Challengers Bangalore.
Yes, yes. For me, it is very emotional because I am also a diehard fan of Virat Kohli here. As soon as I heard the news about Virat Kohli stepping down as a captain, I was little broken down because I have seen him leading the RCB up front for 9 years. So, though even though there is not a cup, the way he was motivating the boys or the way he was giving the thoughts to the team, it was good. The way he was backing players, for example, when Siraj was retained, they were all questioning why him, why him. So he proved the way he backed him, Siraj proved off. He paid off in 2020 and he's still performing good. So yes, sad to see Virat Kohli play under someone like he being a good captain. It's sad to see him play under someone. But one thing is, what I'm happy is he clearly mentioned that he'll still be playing in RCB. So for that, yeah, it's a little bit emotional. But I'm happy to see Virat in RCB. I just need someone who is good to lead RCB. That's all. So
But
my
your
expectation
biggest
might be
villain,
Warner or KL.
you're talking. That's Sanjay. I get your point, but the fact is that RCB are also going to be up against a wrist spinner, and the three most explosive batsmen haven't had a great time against wrist spinners and left arm spinners. You saw what happened in Ahmedabad against Harpreet Brar and Virat Kohli, Glenn Maxwell, AB de Villiers. As good as they are sometimes left a little wanting against wrist spin. And in Rashid Khan, you have one of the world's leading T20 leg spinners. So that will be a cause for concern for you as well.
Yeah, yeah. Rashid Khan, we have to outplay his 4 overs very carefully because he's one of the best spinners the world T20 has ever got. The way he spins the ball, he just knows the in and out weakness of all the batsmen. So be it Virat Kohli, he know where to bowl him. Be it AB de Villiers, he'll judge the batsman. So if ABD is going for a switch hit or something, he'll know where to bowl. So I think Maxwell might outplay Rashid Khan in some other ways because he has taken he's taken Rahul Char, all the top spinners, Varun Chakravarti. I think in that aspect, if I see Rashid Khan might be a threat, scoring some 28, 30 runs in the 4 overs given by him is which is a doable thing because he has been leaking runs from last two matches, 4 overs 31, 4 overs 28. For a bowler like him, about 24 is what we expect. So somewhere around 28, 30 runs, yes, we are sorted for Rashid Khan.
Okay. We'll take a couple of questions, one each for Sanjay and one for Manish before we go and get into who they think will be their favorites for this. So there is one I had for Manish. Rahul Singh is saying take the stat. ABD and Kohli haven't batted together in this IPL. I'm not very sure of that stat, but if you're saying we'll take it for what it is, I'm not sure they haven't. Maybe they did sometime in the first leg of the IPL. That's not something I have checked, so I won't be able to confirm that. Since you're saying that, I've read it out. Um, there is one I had, yeah. A lot of people are asking Krishna Gopal. In fact, Sanjay is saying, do you think Dan Christian will come ahead of Kona Bharat again today?
No, no. The
Sanjay, can you
last
hear
time
me?
it was like an experiment. You can tell the openers had a good stand of partnership of 55 or 56, where the stage was set for someone like Maxwell or Dan Christian, so they can give some guest appearance like three or four sixes, which Dan. Yes, yes.
Go on, go
Where
on.
where Christian can score more. I think today it won't happen because we are up against a good bowling lineup in IPL with top class seamers and spinners. So I think sending Dan Christian would be a bad decision. I think we'll go with the same order: Kohli, Padikal, Bharat, and Maxwell.
Hmm. Well, okay. Manish, there's a question from Tanish. He's saying, Tanish, this side. My question is, many people are trolling, making fun that we see Warner in a different way. Different team? So, do you agree or not that Warner will play for SRH or some other team? As
Yes,
far
yes,
as if I
yes.
have to take that, I don't think.
So my batting order will be Kohli, Padikal, Bharat, Maxwell, and ABD. I don't think they'll send Dan Christian early today because SRH has top class seamers like Bhuvneshwar Kumar and new rising star like Umran Malik. So I
Yeah,
don't think Dan Christian.
yeah. Okay, yeah, Manish, you want to take that? Do you think Warner playing for SRH, continue to play for SRH? And by the way, Ram Kamble, we have taken your question on ABD videos right at the start. I don't know if you missed that segment, but we've taken your question. Yes, Manish. Warner for SRH next season?
I think it's very difficult to imagine Warner donning some other team's jersey, and I think the fans will make their voices heard. We will be vocal about his retention, and we will love to see him come back and play for the Sunrisers Hyderabad again. And in fact, I think I am one of those rare SRH fans who thinks that Warner should be retained alongside Rashid Khan, because Warner here is SRH material, complete Sunrisers Hyderabad legend. And what he has done for the Sunrisers Hyderabad franchise is something I don't think the management should overlook, nor should the team owners or the Sunrisers Hyderabad fans. So I can only hope that he's back for us and he plays in the same fashion that he has done for us in all these seasons, scoring 500 plus runs in consecutive seasons. But of course, with the 10-team format now coming into the picture, I think it's really going to be difficult to buy him back, especially if we let him go. If we let him go in the auction, then I don't think we can buy him back. So now is the right time to adhere with the norms of the auction and get your best player, the man who has done so much for the team, back in the Sunrisers Hyderabad setup.
Right. Okay. So I'll go to the usual question before we wrap up the show. Manish, your take for Sunrisers Hyderabad. Who do you think will be the man of the match here, assuming they have to beat RCB tonight?
Well, I'm going to go with Bhuvneshwar Kumar today because with just 2 games left for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, I think even from an Indian fan perspective, we all want him to do good. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar, in fact, has had a great record against the Royal Challengers Bangalore. So that is something I'm really looking forward to, him bowling in the power play with lots to prove before the World Cup. And if I have to take a batsman's name, then it is definitely going to be Jason Holder, because he has only been the one player for us this season who has been producing some positive impact in each game that he's played in.
Right.
So I think these are my 2 men for today who are going to step up and do good for the Sunrisers.
Okay, Sanjay, quickly your pick for RCB man of the match if they were to win against SRH tonight.
Yeah, if it is coming to the bowling lineup, obviously my pick will be Yuzvendra Chahal. So whenever you go for first over, he might go for 10 runs. The remaining 3 overs, we see him picking up 3 wickets, giving 7 runs. So when it comes to batting, I'm expecting that it should be Virat Kohli or Maxwell today, because I have not seen Virat Kohli step up like what he used to do in 18 and 17. So I think it is Virat Kohli or Maxwell this time.
Okay. And we'll see if it's Bhuvneshwar Kumar for SRH. Great news for India heading into the World Cup. And if it's Yuzvendra Chahal, there's a lot of clamour for Chahal to be included in that side as well. Ahead of Rahul Chahal, by the way, who hasn't played for Mumbai Indians the past couple of games because he hasn't been at his best. So that will be interesting to see if Chahal continues to perform as well as he has been and ends up winning the man of the match in a winning effort against the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Well, then that's that. We'll come back with both Manish, Sanjay, Boria, and I will, of course, be back at the end of this game. We'll figure out what happens. Can Sunrisers Hyderabad come up now with a face-saving victory, or will Royal Challengers Bangalore continue their surge to try and finish in the top 2 of the points table of the 2021 Indian Premier League? Plenty of action. Hopefully also, it's a much more interesting game than with the ones that we've seen in the IPL in the recent past. That'll be something we'll wait and watch as well. We'll wait and figure out whether that happens. Thank you so much for joining us. Do subscribe to Sports Today and do keep supporting this platform like you have. We'll join you in just a few hours from now at the end of this game. Thank you. Have a good evening.